Hey everyone, this is James Pelton. I am here with Kyle Anderson from Profitable Passive, and we're going to be talking about. I'm excited to hear about this and kind of hear what's going on with this, but it is a potentially 0% interest funding for passive income opportunities. So if there's been a passive income opportunity, like the Amazon Reviews program and things like that, but you just thought, well, I don't quite have enough liquid capital to make this happen right now. Kyle potentially has a solution for you. So excited to hear about that. Thank you guys, everybody watching. Please hit the like button and please comment if you got 50,000. Here's the question, the comment question of the day. If you had $50,000 in 0% interest funding for passive income opportunities, what would you get into? Would it be Amazon KDP, a done for you Amazon store? Would it be the Amazon Reviews program? What would you use that money for? So I'd love to hear just kind of what you guys are thinking. So let's go over to Kyle. Kyle, we've had you on the channel before, so we can do a short introduction, but tell us just briefly about you in case there's some people here that don't know you, and then we will jump into this program.
Yeah, happy to be on again. Thanks for having me. So, I've done a lot on Amazon, a lot of different Amazon programs, bought and sold multiple e-commerce based businesses, and then there was a new program that started it started 2 years ago or longer, but I learned about it, maybe a year and a half ago, and we jumped in and started creating these done for you product review videos and those types of stores for people. So we've done that. We did that for you and quite a few others in your community, um, and that's gone fairly well. And Amazon is a little bit of a roller coaster up and down, but once you have things going, it's fairly consistent and passive once you have everything set up. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And I'm always looking for more ways to make more money in less time, right? Like the passive life, the life where you really have freedom to do what you want when you want. You have the financial freedom, but the time freedom above all is really what we're all seeking, I think.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, and again, not having enough capital is often the problem that people have. So let's talk first about this program to get the 0% interest funding. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll jump in. We'll talk just briefly about the profitable product program, how it's going, and if that's something people might want to use their 50K on. But let's go ahead and start off by just tell us a little bit about this program, where you found it, how it works. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, over the years, I've learned some tips and some tricks to get funding. So really, I'm just using my knowledge and the knowledge I've learned from trial and error, talking to other people, joining other programs, just really putting together the best way to get funding quickly without giving away an arm and a leg, right? And especially 0% where you're able to get something started, earn the passive income, and be able to pay off the 0% credit card. So yeah, so I've got started. I've done it for quite a few years, but just realized there's so many great opportunities right now and things that I've tried that I like to tell people about and help them get started or get them to their goals as far as what they want to do with passive income.
Okay, very good. So this is kind of like different credit card methods. I notice you need that credit score of 680 or above, or that's what's
Mhm.
recommended.
Yeah, that's going to give you the best chance at getting the most amount of money, right? Like you could still get approved for some under that, but 680, 700 and above really is kind of the sweet spot where you have the best chance of success of getting the types of funding that we like to help people get, and that makes it worth your time and your effort, right? So.
Okay, yeah, I've got a good question from Mike, which Mike, good to see you, brother. But he says, is this business funding where you use your personal credit as sort of a personal guarantee? So like when you are getting into this, do you need to show, income history for your business, or can you do this personally, or do you know how that works?
You have to have some income. You can't be broke, right? You have to have some income, but they don't do a lot of checking the income, right? They're just it's just fill out a form typically, and they do a little bit of legwork. Some you can get instant approval depending on your credit and where things are at. Others, where if you're working with someone in our community that people that we found that are really great to work with certain banks, excuse me, they theirs typically takes like 3 to 5 days for them to get to give you an idea of, okay, you wanted this much but you're approved for this much. So but yeah, it's business funding or it's funding, but that does go off your personal credit.
Okay. Awesome. Good question. And then I wanted to talk just briefly. How should someone think about this risk wise? Because we've seen a lot of passive income programs. Some work, some don't work. And so, I'm a little hesitant taking out a big chunk of credit for something that might not be around for too long. So, how do you think about risk in that way, and how much you should get in like that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and something that I'm very key on because if I haven't tried it myself and know that it works, it's not something I recommend. And if we don't, we got to find places that are very reputable, that has a track record, that it's not just fake reviews, but it's real results for real people. Um, so I only recommend ones that I've actually tried and I'm seeing good success with. Other people have found other ones, right? And if they really want to take the risk, like it's their funding, they can do what they want with it. But as far as kind of finding, you got to find people you trust. You got to go off the experts that have trial and error and figured out the best way to work things. And those are the ones we recommend that are showing proven track record, not something that's flash in the pan, looks great for one day and then next day it's gone, like you're saying. So
Okay. Yep. Things that have been around for a while. I think you're totally right. This is it. So you want to be careful. Okay. When you get 50K that you didn't have before, the temptation can be just Google best passive income play. And then there's
um,
something brand new that's making 40% a month or something like that. And you just throw in your 50K and then you're like, well, why did I lose all my money? So you just want to be really careful with something like that. So good suggestion there.
for
Um,
sure.
how long generally is the interest zero? How long do you have to pay back before you have to start paying interest?
So typically they're 12 months. There are some that are 9, but most are 12 months or more. The highest is going to be 24 months, but that's more rare. It's typically anywhere between 12 and 18 months is what you'll see. And something to be aware of is you do have to pay monthly, but you only pay 1% of the balance on the cards. So if you only have one card, it's just whatever that balance is. But if you have two or three or four, then you got to pay 1% on each. And that's why it's important to find things to either have the income where you can support that, or to find passive income that quickly can make and pay off that, so you can fund that as you go. That's just something to be aware of. It's not free for 12 months. It's you invest in things that are going to pay that balance and a lot more fairly quickly.
Okay, very good. Haven't seen James in my YouTube feed in many months. Hogan, where you been, brother? Good to have you. I've been alive and kicking, so we've still been doing a lot of videos. So it's good to have you back. Let's see. Can you liquidate the cards to cash? If so, how would that work?
It's not as easy to do that. There are some ways, but typically you got to invest in things that take credit cards and then invest from there. Um, but there are ways. It's just you're going to pay fees along the way, so it's not as easy as I'd like. But yeah, it's possible, but it's a lot more work for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Big Kitty says, do we have to have a high credit score? So you do. It's recommended 680 or above. People could still, apply and schedule a call even if it's lower than that, and maybe can talk about, and maybe starting with a lower amount and working on getting that credit score up. There's different ways to do that. But would you reckon if somebody has a 600 credit score, is it worth still scheduling a call and talking through?
We can talk through things. I wouldn't recommend applying for cards right away because the important thing is being set up right before you apply so you can have the highest chance of success. And you don't want too many hard inquiries on your credit report within 6 months, or that's when banks are going to start, blocking you and shutting you down. So you got to do it, find the right ones and do it in the right order and make sure you got your ducks in a row first. So that's why it's important to work with people who know what they're talking about. And there's stuff online like you could learn this stuff and do it yourself, but then it's just going to take more time.
Yeah.
It's a lot more work with the trial and error. But of course, there's information's out there. You just got to know who you can trust and figure it out as you go.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So if you have we'll say a medium credit score, not a good one. What can happen is if you try to apply for a bunch of cards with that medium credit score, they'll decline you, and your credit score will take even more of a hit. So if you were wanting to improve that score to maybe get qualified for some of these programs, all those credit inquiries are going to hit your credit score. So it's better to make sure you're in a pretty good spot. I think that's why Kyle kind of chose that 680 number, is like that's a pretty good spot to be in where you'll get approved for most things. So it's better and you can improve your credit score fairly quickly by doing a few things.
Yep.
So yeah, that's definitely, we could do a full video on that, or again, you can just Google it, or hop Chat GPT, say, how can I improve my credit score? And there's products like Mint and things like that will give you your credit score and show here's a step-by-step what you can do to improve that. So that's a good option for you there.
Yep.
Let's see. And then people want to talk about what to do with the money. So Dane, first thing he says is buy Bitcoin. The only thing I'll say about this, and Kyle, maybe you can add on if you want. The only thing is, if you take out a $50,000 credit line to buy Bitcoin, there is, like Kyle said, you're going to have to be paying back 1% of that. So you're going to have to be paying $500 a month off of that. And the price of Bitcoin month to month might not be where you're wanting it to be. So you might have to wait a year before you're able to take any profit from Bitcoin. We might see a year of down numbers. I mean, who knows? So it's just a little bit riskier putting it into an investment like that rather than a business that's going to be producing revenue for you to pay off. So that's the only thing I would say about that. And if you're going to buy crypto, Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe just those blue chips is the only thing I would consider when you're taking a loan out on it. Do not go buy the latest meme coin with money that you've taken out on a credit card. That is not going to be a winning recipe for you. But I don't know, Kyle, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, it's just not as consistent and predictable as you want, right? You're leaving a lot of risk on the table if you play that game. Like, people have done it and it works out, right? But for every success story, there's 100 people that have lost their shirt. So I definitely don't recommend that. Unless you have some insider knowledge, then go ahead. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it as far as taking that amount of risk.
Yeah, that gray area of insider knowledge that doesn't get you thrown in jail, but insider knowledge that the general public doesn't have. So yeah, there's a fine line there.
Exactly.
So let's go to Dane's other question. What is Kyle's best passive income suggestion? So if you took out this 50K, again, this is not financial advice. No one should just do what Kyle says to do because it's what he would do. But what would you do with the 50K?
Great question. So,
and you can say your own stuff. Okay, that would be acceptable.
Okay, I mean, it's a good start. Depends on their goals, really, and that's kind of what I wanted to go over. Of like, what's your goals? Like, do you need something short term where it's quickly making money, or are you looking more long game that's going to see a lot better returns faster? There's a community I'm a part of that teaches you how to acquire businesses, ones that have strong operators. and it shows you how to get the 10% down you need, and then you can get the SBA loans to pay off, to get funded. But then you can buy, anywhere between $1 million to $5 million business, and live off the cash flow, but also have a business that runs without you. Right? You're buying a big enough business when you're in the $1 to $5 million range, where you can keep $200,000-$300,000 a year from the business, but you don't have to operate it. You don't have to go. Like, I recommend going there and learning the business and getting to know the team and being an owner. But as far as the day-to-day stuff, you stay high level and you have a person there that runs the business. That's the best opportunity I've seen, but it's not quick cash. It's not going to pay $500 a month one, right? It's more in 3 years. Let's say you buy the business at a 3x multiple, which 3x of the profit, the annual profit. You buy it at 3x. The community I'm a part of, they're already connected to private equity, that any business that follows this network's kind of process and has a business that fits their buy box, they will pay a 6x when they decide to do the transaction, which it's a 2 to 3 year outlook right now. So if you bought a $3 million business, day one it's worth $6 million, but you're not going to see the payday, for 2 to 3 years until they actually sell it to private equity. But just knowing, right, when you buy it, you already have a business that's worth 2 times what you paid, and then if you can grow it at all, even better, right? Then it's worth even more when you sell it. That's the exciting one, where it's like life-changing money, plus you get the cash flow along the way, right? So that's kind of best of both worlds. But if you're just looking for something short-term that's going to make you money, I've found a few other ones. I found like a bot program where it's very reliable. It makes about 5 to 10% monthly. So say you put 30,000 in, you invest in their program, you put 30,000 in, then it could be making anywhere between 1,500 and $3,000 a month passively. It's very passive. It takes maybe a few minutes a day. You check the email to make sure everything's running, and the team there actually does the setup for you. So those two are ones that that I'm the most excited about. But I've got some others as far as what people are interested in, and I've got my own, like the product review videos. But that's a lot more work for me and my team. Whereas I like to give people the best options, and I don't want to just promote myself. I'm not here for that. I want to help people reach their goals. So it really depends on your goal and your timelines, and let's figure out what makes the most sense.
Yeah, absolutely love that. Actually, if you answered anything other than depends on your goals, I would question you and be like, hey, you shouldn't give blanket answers like that. But that's exactly right. It all depends on your goals, your financial situation. And that's why you're scheduling a call, and it's not just fill this out and you're good to go, because you got to talk through some stuff. We got Mike says, I'm in, Kyle. So Mike's going to be scheduling.
Let's do it.
Take the loan and buy that Joe Biden meme coin. Not financial advice. Do not. I'll give financial advice. Don't do that. Okay, that's I don't usually give financial advice, but I'm gonna say that. Good advice. Buying a biz is better than starting a biz all day. Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing I've learned over the years, is starting from scratch is 1,000 times harder than buying a business. And I actually bought a business within the last 6 months in this program, and I got it within 6 months. And so it's pretty exciting. So now it's like I got another business in Arizona. I live in Utah. It runs without me basically at this point. So it's cool, and it's exciting to see, and it's still work, right? It's not like day one, set it and forget it, and it just runs without you. You got to make sure you got a good operator. You got to make sure you understand how the business works. Got to hook up all the financial stuff and pay all the bills too, right? So, but these businesses pay for themselves. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. There's actually 10,000 baby boomers retiring that own these small businesses a day. So there's way more demand, or way more supply than there is demand. There's a huge gap in the market right now, just because all these people that have owned businesses for 20, 30 years, just they're ready to retire, but they don't have a succession plan. So that it's just super exciting. And just knowing that if you join this community, you've already got a path to quickly double the value of the business on top of, anything, any way that you grow it. And tons of these businesses have done no marketing. And I have a marketing background. I used to have a marketing agency. So for me, it's like you come in, you plug in some marketing stuff, some sales stuff, clean up the processes. A lot of them are very outdated on tech, or their website sucks, or they have like no reviews on Google. So it's just like so much low hanging fruit to grow the business. Plus I don't know, it's just fun to own businesses and help other people, and help other communities by providing jobs and doing stuff like that. But I'll get off my soapbox and we can keep going on with this.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on all that. And if you look, a lot of the best businesses to buy are not even on market. Like you said, it's people from the last generation who don't even necessarily know what they're going to do when they might be ready to retire or close to retire, but they have no idea what to do. And so if you come to them, you approach some of these. I've seen these with mobile home parks, for example. But you approach them and you say, hey, what if you still got 3 or 4K a month from the business, and we did seller financing, and I'll give you 50K up front, and then we'll do seller financing for the other, 400K that you need for this. And I'll just be paying you 3 or 4K a month for the next couple years or whatever. You can usually, and a lot of times you tell these to these older people who are wanting to retire, and they're like, this is amazing. I would love this. Thank you so much. And they start thanking you for you coming in and taking over their business. So there's a lot of, we're at a time with a lot of opportunity. And then, like you said, if you have some marketing knowledge or, even internet knowledge, there's some of these businesses that don't even have websites. They're not on Google reviews. Like you said, that is an instant way to, 2X the foot traffic to a particular business as you get it on Google. I mean, that's an instant way. That's hardly any work that a lot of businesses haven't done. So yeah, love that idea. For me, other idea, Amazon KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. There's a lot of, you can hire a ghostwriter. If you have a book idea or something like that, you can hire a ghostwriter for maybe $800 or $900. Then you don't have to write the book yourself. You can have somebody who's a good writer put it all together, and then you can get it out there. So, I mean, there's a lot of different directions you could go with this. And Mike says, if you want to learn all about buying businesses, go watch Cody Sanchez, which I agree. Cody Sanchez is the bomb. I'd love to have him on sometime too. So
yeah, it's actually a girl, but she is awesome. Yeah, she is amazing. That's actually not the community I'm a part of, but it sounds like she does a lot of things that the community I'm in as well. But yeah, if people are interested, I'm happy to jump on a call. We can get more into the weeds there. But yeah, so Cody Sanchez is a great free resource. She has her own community that you can join as well. But the one I recommend is the one I'm a part of. It costs more, right? But you also, once you buy a business in the buy box they recommend, they also have a $50 million fund where if you don't have the 10% down, then they'll pay the 10% down. And that's when you become a part of these deals where you can make a 6X. So not only do you have to put no money down because they're going to pay the 10%, they're going to help you with resources and with all those types of things. And they have the hookup to show these business owners, how about instead of taking this full price, you work with our financial advisor who's going to show you how to pay no taxes on this $3 million business. So instead of paying 30% on 3 million, how about we pay you 2.4 and or 2.5, and you keep that and let us show you how to make, and he has a process of here's how you make 10 to 12% annually and live off the interest, right? So there's just, the network is everything, and there's just an amazing network with this community that I'm a part of. So yeah, I'd love to show people and tell people about it. But yeah, like there's so many opportunities with 0% funding. So it really depends on your goals and what you want to do. But huge potential as far as owning businesses and growing them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to leave a link to a video I did with Helen Guo But she runs a community too for buying small businesses and particularly using seller financing. So I'll leave a link if you guys want to watch that video. Join her community. There's a lot of communities doing it. Mike says 60% of business sales are seller financing. Yeah, if you can keep the bank out of it, you can save so much money. It's way easier for all parties involved. And a lot of people don't know. I've talked with people who are like, is this legal? Can you do seller financing? And it's like, well, you can do whatever you want to do.
Right.
You can write up.
And why not, as a business owner, they make some interest instead of the bank, right? They just don't get paid as sooner, but they have that kind of passive income for them where they get paid. Because the one I bought, we actually got 80% seller financing and 20% down. So it's a game changer because instead of paying 11% or 10.5% SBA loan, I got it at 8%, right? So once you can change the numbers and how much interest you're paying, that just changed how much cash flow you can keep in your pocket too.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. Do you need a seasoned business to apply, or can you just be a personal self, no business?
Yeah, you don't have to have any business experience to join this program I'm a part of. And there's just so many great people, business owners in there who are happy to give advice and happy to connect you to the right people and educate you as needed. Some people don't want to be the business owner or don't have the money to invest, so they actually become the operator. So there's people in there who are ready to be operators who have the business knowledge but don't want to buy the business. So it's like there's already people we can utilize in there if a business needs a strong operator. So yeah, there's just a lot of options with how you can go about doing it.
Yep.
And some people will pay you like a finder's fee if you don't want to buy the business, but if you just want to go out there and be the guy that searches and finds these businesses for people who have the money, sometimes they'll pay 5-10% finder's fee. So if you find them a business they buy for $5 million, they're going to pay you 10%. They're going to pay you $500,000 just for finding the business and getting them connected and doing some of the legwork for them, right? Doing some of the vetting and then making the introduction. So there's tons of ways to make money as when you're acquiring businesses. So yeah, it's super exciting.
Okay, love that. Christian says most of funding companies are charging 10% of what they can get you. There's one company that only charge a flat fee for 4 rounds of funding. Is there a fee for actually finding the credit line with the 0% interest?
Yeah. So if you want to work with us and kind of be a part of the community, there is a fee for us, for me and my team to help you get things going. But it's a flat fee. It's not 10% of what we get you. I understand. I can see the value in it, but that just feels crazy high to me. I know some that charge $10,000 or more. But yeah, right now we're just charging $3,000 to. We take a deposit, and then once we actually have proven and gotten you the credit cards, that's when we take the payment for the rest. But we do take a down payment just so we know you have skin in the game, and you're a good person. Because some people, they'll get the funding and they'll run too. So we've got to make sure that both sides are protected. But yeah, that's the way we have it structured currently. Because it is work, especially if it takes some work to get you to the point where you're ready to go. But most of the time, if people have a good credit score, they don't have any derogatory marks, and they don't have a ton of credit checks in the last, hard checks in the last 6 months, then, right now, today, we could start applying and see how quickly we could get you 50, 100K and hit the ground running.
Awesome. Well, hey, I really like this. So everybody watching, you can go schedule a call. I just left that link again. Again, 50,000 plus in 0% interest funding for passive income opportunities and investments. No experience or skills required. All within the next 14 to 30 days. You do need a decent credit score, although that's not crazy. 680 is not like a crazy. No never missed a bill in your whole life. 680 is doable. But you can book your call, and there's no obligation for booking the call. I assume this is correct, Kyle, but it's exploratory. And during the call, you'll discuss, hey, is this right? Oh, yes. Thank you for mentioning this. Pocket says not for Canadians. This is U.S. only. Is that correct?
Yeah. So U.S. citizen or have a U.S. business where you could, use the business info to apply for the credit. So yeah, that's one of the downsides. It's mostly U.S. only. So.
Yes. Yeah. I always forget, us U.S. people, we think the world revolves around us. I forget to mention that, hey, a lot of you, this is not going to be helpful for because you're not in the U.S. Well, apologies. But for the U.S. people, I think this is a great option. Again, so go schedule this call, and that'll be great. So awesome. Kyle, anything else for us before we kind of wrap up here? I'm sure we'll have you back. We've had you on for a lot of different things, and I appreciate you just bringing stuff for my audience, things that you think would be valuable for people. I know that's where your heart is, and that's where my heart is. So we're like-minded on that, and appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no, I love coming and chatting with you and your community. I've met a ton of great people in there, work with a ton of great people. And like, as far as the Amazon reviews program, as far as like your account, I mean, we haven't added a video there for 6 months or something, and it still makes $2 to $3 grand a month. It's just completely passive on both our ends, right? Once we have the system up and going, plus every holiday season and Prime Day, if you got products that sell well during those times, like, you're going to get an even bigger lift. So it just keeps paying for itself. I mean, within 12 months, it paid itself off. Now it's just $2-3 grand a month. It's making almost 10% a monthly returns off of what the initial investment was. So, yeah, just kind of an update for people. TikTok's been a struggle lately. There was a workaround method that was working well, and the videos were doing well, but they've taken away the workaround method. So we found another way to get in. It just takes a little more work. But yeah, that program's still doing well. But it's not not gonna pay you $500 the first month, right? It's gonna take 4 to 6 months to really get approved and start making money and start paying itself off. But just wanted to give a quick update there, just in case people were curious where we're at on that.
Awesome. Yeah, no, appreciate that. And maybe we'll have you back on here shortly to just talk about that and see if that's an option for people. So yeah, I love that. Awesome. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll wrap up there. Audience, appreciate you guys. I hope you find this useful. I think this could be very beneficial for some of you. I know some of your situations, and I think this could be a good option for you. So go ahead and if you have questions, feel free to schedule just to ask some questions about it. Feel free to hit me up. Kyle's on Discord, so if you want to connect on Discord, I can connect you guys if you have some questions, but you don't want to schedule a call quite yet. So just let me know what I can do for you guys, but appreciate you guys. And Kyle, like I said, always appreciate you bringing stuff to me. Keep it up, and I'm sure we'll see you again here before too long.
Okay, sounds great. Have an awesome summer, and let's chat again soon.
Awesome. Sounds great. God bless you all. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
See you, James.